Hey and welcome back to Gotta Go Orlando, and today we are deep diving into Disney's latest concept art for the Magic Kingdom expansion, and trust me, there's a lot more here than meets the eye. Not only do we have a confirmed closure date for the Rivers of America, but Disney also dropped a fresh look at what's coming to that space, and yes, it's still Cars themed. But this new artwork, it's a major update from what we saw right after the 2024 D23 Expo. A new layout, new details, even more mountains, and a much clearer vision of what's replacing one of the Magic Kingdom's most iconic areas. So let's break it all down, because when you really study this concept art, it becomes clear that Disney has made big changes and they are certainly telling a different story. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So let's start with a headline. This new land is officially called Piston Peak National Park. A Cars universe takes on the U.S. National Park system with lush green trees, rivers, geysers, log buildings, winding roads and trails, and possibly a paddock. I mean, what's going on here? A petting zoo perhaps? Or as Emma pointed out, this could be an area for a small flat ride with an internal queue line, much like the Dumbo ride. Now, whether the name sticks or not is anyone's guess, but I'm guessing most people will still call it Cars Land. Disney also confirmed that the Rivers of America, Tom Sawyer's Island and the Liberty Bell Riverboat will all close on July the 7th, which is approximately just about a month from the time this video goes live. So we will have to move fast to get them last rides in on the Liberty Bell Riverboat, or take a raft over to Tom Sawyer's Island for an adventure. I just feel like so much is closing to make way for these new expansions. Dino Land USA, the Muppets Courtyard, and now the Rivers of America. Disney is calling this new theme Parkitecture, a mashup of park and architecture. It's a stylized take on natural landscapes, green forests, log buildings, snow-capped mountains and waterfalls, similar to what the Imagineers have done over at Fort Wilderness Lodge and the Grizzly Peak at Disney's California Adventure. And I have to really say, I love this older style of Disney theming and Imagineering. I'm not one for the newer hotel design with the minimal look. I am all about the Poly, Boardwalk, Grand Floridian and Fort Wilderness, but the bigger implication is this confirms that the old frontier timeline of 1800s Old West is officially over. The shift began with Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but Piston Peak cements it. The Magic Kingdom is evolving beyond the frontier. We know there will be geysers, including one large one named Old Thankful. Do you get it? Like Old Faithful, which will erupt throughout the day, and a nod to Nature's Wonderland at Disneyland. There's also rainbow pools based off Yellowstone National Park, and the Paint Pops, which was at Disneyland's Nature's Wonderland. A nice little nod by the Imagineers. To be honest, there's a lot of similarities between this new car land and Nature's Wonderland. Winding tracks through mountains, winding roads through mountains, geysers, tunnels, bridges, rainbow pools, log buildings, just to name a few. The whole area feels like a car-infused version of Fort Wilderness, Nature's Wonderland and Grizzly Peak, complete with its rocky terrain, water features and national park aesthetics. One surprise which has been a big topic on social media is a reveal of a Ranger car, a carified version of Ranger J. Audubon Woodlore from the classic Donald and Humphrey Bear cartoons. This character will play a major role in the land, including the queue for the rally race attraction. But this is really the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this new land and what is hidden. As for the first attraction, which was originally described as a kid-friendly experience, it's been moved. It now sits on the opposite side of the land, closer to Liberty Square. The queue will be inside the Rangers headquarters, but that's all we know. Is this change to help with the reduction of noise and visibility, as this attraction will be smaller and less intense? The fact that Disney is holding off on details tells us one thing: this project is being reworked. It's important that this new expansion fits and that the viewpoints are well thought out. But this is something we know Disney is very good at. Meanwhile, the rally race ride layout has shifted too. Part of its track now cuts into the space originally planned for the family ride. Along the way, Disney has added geysers and rainbow pools, a classic Imagineer vibe with modern twists. But maybe one of the most surprising twists is their saving part of the rivers of America. Everyone was speculating about this, but the good news is it looks like we're getting an actual flowing river separating Frontierland from the new Cars Land. This river is going to be flowing with real movement and energy, and all that soothing ambience that water always brings. This flowing river and waterfall will help with covering the noise from the Cars Land and distracting the guests from what lies behind them trees. Also, moving them two attractions around has helped with the viewpoint from Rivers of America and the noise. Also using trees as a sound barrier to break up the sound coming from that land. All of these works tie in beautifully with Tiana's Bayou Adventure and makes the whole land feel more alive. Plus, it also looks like parts of Tom Sawyer Island will be added as well. The boardwalk and beer barrel bridge may survive, and I just want to point out this area on the concept. Could this be a dining and play area? And at the rear of the building, you can make out a paddock and an outbuilding. Are these areas for a petting zoo type of attraction, a meet and greet perhaps, or some type of flat ride that needs an operation booth and a ride restricted area? I guess we'll just have to wait for more announcements. This would be a nice element, as wherever it is, ride or an experience, it sits right at the front of the land, leading you in. Also, I really hope we're getting some classic cave networks, as they were so cool to explore and a great way of getting out of the sun and cooling off. These would also be a great little nod for Tom Sawyer's Island. Even Harper's Mill, or at least a nod to it, might live on, as shown in this concept. It's not in the original spot, but it's still there. It's a great tribute to Harper Goff and the legacy of early Disney design. Now let's talk about the skyline. According to Scott Gustin, Imagineers are modelling the new Piston Peaks mountain after Tokyo Disney Sea's Mount Prometheus. It is set to rise near Old Aunt Polly's location, and it is designed to look stunning from every angle. The latest concept art shows 3 distinct peaks instead of one, possibly hinting at a new logo for the land and its headline ride. You can also see what seems to be a log on the central lodge with the same 3 peaks. Could this be the Magic Kingdom's version of the Matterhorn? And since Tiana moved in, we lost one mountain. Could this new 3-peak mountain have a name? And is it a nod to the original 3 mountains, Splash, Space and Big Thunder? Who knows how and if this story is being told. Maybe we're getting Car Eagle Mountain Peak. There's more shade, more trees, more rock work. It all adds up to a rugged, rocky mountain feel that stretches from Big Thunder Mountain all the way to Liberty Square. Strangely, the Liberty Bell dock still appears on the map. Why, I would love to see the riverboat being incorporated into this new land and area. Having the boat docked would make for a nice dining option, or a nook to relax in, or even a meet and greet spot, with them waters and rocks being the backdrop. But if the riverboat isn't anchored at this location, it would make a beautiful Tiana's Bayou Adventure themed restaurant, selling them very tasty beignets. The riverboat would fit in perfectly with the storytelling. Located right across from the ride, it would have great elevated views of Tiana's Splashdown and Cars Land and Piston Peak. So this is how I feel about the land. I personally like the new version of the concept compared to the first released. I feel at ease a little more now that the theming feels more cohesive. How do you guys feel about this new concept? I have to say neither the Cars characters nor the ride appears front and centre in this new concept, and this might explain why fans' reactions are more positive this time around. If this land wasn't Cars themed, if it featured original characters or a blend of classic ones like Chip and Dale or the Country Bears, or even Go Camping from Disney Junior based around the camping trip with Donald Duck, Goofy, Mickey, Chip and Dale, Huey, Dewey and Louie, Minnie Mouse and Pluto, I don't think there would be as much controversy at all. But I have to say, Cars is one of Pixar's more cartoonish franchises. It doesn't quite fit the timeless feel of Magic Kingdom, and I have spoken about Disney and IPs before, such as Simpsons. Some IPs just don't feel like they belong in Disney parks. Now Cars Land, for me, with the original concept, would have fitted better in Disney's Hollywood studios, and I'm sure this would have been a lot easier than Disney trying to now fit Cars into Frontierland. It's a tough sell, especially for the land replacing such a beloved area. And then there's the ride. When it was demoed at South by Southwest, the response was lukewarm. It's an off-road, on-rails attraction, not exactly revolutionary. Remember, it was sold as a completely off-road, off-track attraction. Hopefully the new theming, effects and scenery elevate it to something truly memorable. That's rare. Disney attractions usually spark instant hype. Just look at the buzz around Monsters Inc. store coaster. But I guess we'll just have to wait a little longer for more details to be released about Cars Land. Now just before I go, I just want to talk a little bit about Beyond Big Thunder Mountain. This is the next expansion, which is Villains Land. Now it's not been confirmed as yet, but the walkway to this land will be running down the side of the Haunted Mansion, and we are already hearing rumours of a Haunted Mansion themed dining option located somewhere alongside the attraction. This would be a great addition for this area and walkway, but I'm very sure we'll be seeing more details very soon on this expansion project, as permits have been going in and the area behind Big Thunder Mountain has started to be cleared. There is so much going on at Disney, with the Muppets attraction now closed and us getting an update on the Muppets roller coaster in 2026, which was announced this weekend just past, and the Rivers of America set to close on July the 7th, not to mention all the stuff going on over at Animal Kingdom. This update came at the right time. Disney's revised concept feels like a step forwards, whether you were excited or skeptical or somewhere in between. But what do you think? Do you prefer this new concept over the original? Are you more optimistic now, or do you still think the Cars IP is a mismatch for this park? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, as we'd love to hear them. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell and share with your friends and family, as it really helps the channel grow. Want even more Orlando, Florida updates? Don't forget to check out our website that covers everything that's happening here in Orlando, Florida. It's gottagoorlando.com. Now get out there and go and make some memories. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you on our next video. And have an awesome day. Bye!